Hey, good morning. I hope you all can hear me. I'm going to be real brief, real quick, if I can. I do have some things to do in the morning, in the AM. I will be on in the AM, of course, because I'm going to eat with friends. But I want to come on real quickly because, again, I want to be clear on this USEF situation. And I'm going to address some things and really quickly. First of all, I'm not angry. I know how people operate in these YouTube streets. And in this season, you say what you have to say, you be brief, and you be gone, especially when you're on somebody else's platform. And I'm going to talk about the title, but let me start by saying this. Bri, you aren't the only one that gets emails. Now, you make it seem like people are just thirsty and trying to see what you're doing and all of that. Ma'am, you're not the only one that gets emails. And I did not go first or all of this stuff. First of all, I didn't even know that you were on. I got my email at 8:08 and have the email to prove it. But because I do not expose people and send me stuff, you know, and want to be anonymous, I respect that. But again, I got my email at 8:08 p.m. Number one, you can go on and do what you want because I don't run your platform. I don't tell you what to talk about. I don't tell you who to talk about. However, when I received that email, I stood back, I looked at it. I'm like, who is this? What angle do they have? Is this real? Let me check. And then I said, hey, it needs to be talked about, but I have things that I'm concerned about that you don't have to deal with. So, but that's my choice and that's my decision of how I decide that I'm going to present a story. And whether you went on or not had nothing to do with me because the information that I got was from an email that was sent to me at 8:08. And I just want to be clear on that because people are trying to drum up this theory that, oh, he saw her and he stealing stories. Baby, you're not the only one that gets emails. Catherine said she got the email. A lot of people got that email. A lot of people got that email. So I am not so exclusive that I'm only getting emails. It seems like quite a few people got that email because somebody really wanted to expose Youssef. And when people want to expose someone, that's what they usually do. They will send out a boatload of emails. And that's what happened. You got to realize that you're not the only one that has an email address out there that people can send it. So I want to be very clear on that because I think that's what they were trying to allude. The reason why I went off on Brianna and Tracy and some of those people because let me say this. I didn't go up because Bree I didn't even go up because of Tracy. I went up there because Dory was acting as a surrogate for me, and I didn't need her to speak to me, and she was not conveying my thoughts. And she was saying that I was upset and that I wasn't letting people on the link. So I was really going up to have a conversation with Dory to let her know that your assessment is incorrect. I'm not letting people on the link because I'm not looking for anybody else's opinion. I am not trying to have a panel on this man. This is the information, but my focus was that everybody in the community isn't a predator, because I knew that people were going to take this Youssef thing and run with it. I knew that. And this is why I did not try to click the link. And it's really not about clicking the link first or about being first or breaking news. It's about how am I going to present this? And for me, not for anybody else, how should I do this? So when I click on the link, and then I hear from Bri. And what really got me, because again, when you're always in somebody else's territory with people who may be hostile, you really got to know what's going on. When Bri brought up skip the games and all of this stuff, I'm like, I see what you're doing. It's not about skip the games right now. It's about Youssef's situation. And as I explained, skip the games is not about somebody being a PDF. And I'm just being real about that. Also, where I was 4 to 3 years ago, I am not at that place. And you're trying to place me where you met me, and baby, we don't live there anymore. I rarely watch YouTube. I'm really not that invested. And if she would have listened to, which she probably didn't, and that's fine. But I told you all that YouTube used to be the wild, wild west, but you grow and evolve and you leave that stuff behind and you do something else. I said that. But when she tried to bring it up and make it about that, then I'm like, I see you. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. And I said what I said. I told her what I said with Tracy. I came on my platform and said some more things. And that's it. Because what I'm not going to do is fight on somebody else's platform to make them money while I have my own platform that I could express myself and not fight with people. Because I'm not going to do that. And you all going to see me cut things very short and say thank you and move the hell on, because I got my own platform. And I knew where it was going when that line of questioning came up. And this is why I had to let her know that, ma'am, I defended you when people came to your house, when they took them pictures of you at that soul food or that seafood restaurant with that food. It was wrong. Because that means that somebody was invading your privacy. See, I don't get those courtesies and I don't expect them. But this is why I don't let people corner me like this sister does. I don't do that. I don't play that. And I knew exactly where that was going. And again, I'm not concerned about that because that individual with Skip the Games, that individual who had housing issues, baby, out of all of that stuff that that man did, PDF never came into play. And again, I was just called that yesterday or 2 days ago, probably 2 days ago. So it was just ironic that Youssef finds himself in that position and he's accused of doing that. So it was not my goal to be the first to tell a story or to be this. I don't care about being the first. I do care about what I was going to say and knowing what was out there. And I want to be very clear. Now, Bri and I do agree that this is about behavior and not orientation. And ZX, with his limited mind scope, was trying to make this about orientation. Now, Youssef has been accused of doing this egregious act. We know Youssef because he's been in competitions and he's been around the beef sector. So we know him. We know him in that capacity. So, of course, when something like this happens, people are going to drum up stories and do what they need to do. However, the man is in jail without bail. He is accused of this enticing this child in Macon, Georgia, or Bibb County. The person, whoever it is underage. And he's going to get his sentencing. And I think I said, whether he found innocent or guilty, it doesn't matter, for the mere fact that this has been put out there. So either way, his life is going to take a drastic turn. People are reporting on the news, and that's all I do is report on it. I'm not saying that man is guilty or innocent. I am saying that this is what the, I believe, Georgia Gazette was saying about him. And because this news organization is reputable, then I am looking at what they're saying because it's reputable. It's not hearsay. There is a police report. So we know that this happened. What we don't know is his side of the story and the victim side of the story. We all know what the police said. So nobody is supporting him. Nobody is doing it. But what I'm not going to do is curse this person out and all that. I don't got time for that. But what I am going to say is that any situation like this is wrong. I will ride and live with you, but I ain't riding and dying with nobody. And in this situation here, if it is found to be true, then if he did the crime, he needs to do the time. And I think I've been very clear on that. So Bri and I agree on that. Now, I will say this again. People may say, oh, you're doing too much because, But with your ZXs out there trying to put this jacket on gay and trans people, I am going to say something about it. And that's why I kept on bringing up Epstein, Weinstein, all of those people, because it's the same thing, just different gender. Also, I want people to be outraged with these people who have money and power and how they take advantage of those with little, no political attachments, people who are marginalized, and they took advantage. I'm more upset. First of all, I'm upset with anybody who takes advantage of anyone in that manner. But it really infuriates me when they use their money, their power, and their influence, and they think they're above the law because they have this money, they have connections, and they know or they feel that the victim is not going to say anything. See, we don't get mad at rich people because they're rich and they're powerful. You know, we let them skate on by. And I want people to be just as infuriated with this Epstein situation, this Weinstein situation, and any other situation where somebody's in power and taking advantage of someone. Just like this Youssef situation. Just like this Youssef situation. Because if he is guilty of this, what he is alleged to do, he needs to spend time in jail. See, I'm not disagreeing. It's, you know what I'm saying? But I want you all to get this. It's about behavior. It's about behavior and not orientation. Because people want to make it about orientation, but it's about behavior. And that's what I want to really make clear. And I'm not here to argue about stuff that happened 2 to 3 years ago and all of this stuff, because again, everybody evolves. We're not the same people we were when we first started YouTube. At least I'm not. So to bring up skip the games and all of that stuff, it was disingenuous to me and it was messy to me. And I handled it like you were trying to be messy. You know, I got you over here on Pizarro. Now I'm going to show you something. and I wasn't going. And that's why I left. I didn't leave because I didn't want to take accountability, because that's what she said. I went back to listen. No, ma'am, it's not about taking accountability. It's about, I'm not sitting there and arguing with you on somebody else's channel. And I said what I needed to say, and I really didn't need to say anything else to you. Held accountable for what? Again, you need to be held accountable for a whole lot of things you did under the guise of TSCC. And you just have a lot of nerve. I mean, you know, did you not put his wife business out by telling other people that woman's personal business? And I wasn't even going there with you because, again, the focus was on Youssef. And I guess that's where I am. And I want to give a shout out to Sparkles. Sparkles reached out to me and apologized, and Sparkles, we're good. But Sparkles, I'm real in this season. I don't have a problem with you doing that, but when it's time to rein it in, boo, it's time to rein it in. And sometimes people don't. And the thing is, I'm trying to keep it on the topic. And even with the Sparkles situation, the topic at hand was the man stinking. not about how you felt about Stefan. And this is why I am really keeping things focused on what it is, because there are people who try to get folk unfocused on the real deal and what's really happening. And that's all I'm trying to say. What's up, Demons? Oh, that's all I'm saying with that. So when Bri said that, that's exactly how I felt. Ma'am, let's keep this on the situation. And I really came up to speak to Dory's situation about dropping the link. I didn't feel like dropping the link. I wasn't angry or upset. I don't get this. I didn't commit a crime. I am not in Bibb County in jail. So why am I going to be angry? That's ridiculous. But I really was going up there to let her know I don't need you speaking on my behalf or telling me how I feel, because I just didn't want to hear mess. So what happened over there on Pizza's channel, I didn't want that for my channel, because it was not that was not my focus. My focus is exactly what I said at the beginning. And that's it. And I don't have a spokesperson. I can speak for myself. So because you weren't able to get up on the platform doesn't mean that I was angry. I just didn't really want to speak to people, and I didn't want it to go left, and I didn't want what was going on like at Pizzas on my channel. And I think I have the right to control and to moderate my own channel. And that's it. That's it, and that's all. Jada, but everybody don't see that. And so that's what it is. So I'm going to drop the link today, but I just wanted to be very clear that A, I wasn't upset. Why would I be? B, I didn't want Dory speaking for me because what she was saying was incorrect. Number 3, Bri is not the only person who gets information. And just because you went with it first, I guess, I was reading an email and I guess she was on, but when I came on and I waited because I was busy looking at the email, making sure this was real and thinking about the implications and what was out there and what was going on and how people would react and what I needed to do. Because I had intent. I didn't come out just guns a-blazing, because again, there are some implications. First of all, the man has not been convicted of anything. He is detained. He has been denied bail, but no judge has convicted him of being guilty. Now, we know what the charges are. We're not oblivious to that, but it is still allegedly until he is convicted by a court. Period. Period. So that's why I didn't pop up here, and it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do, but everything about what that email said and what was given. And again, you're not the only person who gets information. I don't know why people think that they're exclusive. No, you're not. Like I said, I got that at 8:08. And so, yeah. And now you're going to have all of these people making speculations about Yusef. Baby, I'm not mad at anybody. Why would I be mad? How many people have broken stories before me? Baby, I'm not mad. But what I'm trying to say to you, Sling Girl, is that she's not the only one who gets email. And you trying to provoke me is not working. I don't have a reason to be mad. I have a beautiful life. So why would I be mad over a story? My thing is, just because you break a story first, that doesn't mean you have everything together. And my thing is, it wasn't about breaking a story first. That's stupid. That's idiotic. It's about looking at who sent it and being careful about what you say and knowing what's out there and how you address it. You give a damn if she went first. She could have been 17. It didn't matter to me. That shit matters to you all. It don't matter to me. So whoever you are, you're mistaken. So I just want to make sure you all know that. And like I said, I move a little different this season because I believe that a lot of people are going to get caught up in a lot of stuff because they're not thinking things through and they're not using emotional intelligence. And you're going to see a lot of junk happen. You're going to see a lot of things happen. And also, I am not gloating and happy about this. This is a serious situation for all parties. So, like I said, I came on with a reason. I'm not coming on to be first. First ain't what I'm about. I'm not about that. So, yeah. I mean, people have come over here and broken stories, and it is what it is. And people have gone over other places and broke. I'm not jealous of that. That's stupid. That's idiotic. Very idiotic. And so, as this situation takes wings, because it's going to, you all be wise, be logical, be reasonable. Don't let these people who run on emotion get you riled up. I'm going to continue to say what I say because this is about behavior and not orientation. Some people are trying to make it about orientation because they live for strife. They don't like who they see in themselves. Because again, I am very serious. What you hate in others, you usually hate in yourself. And I see a lot of that, but I am very, very real about what I'm saying today. And so that's why I'm coming and doing what I'm doing. I don't hate nobody on this apparatus. This apparatus is, just like I said, it's a job. I'm not emotionally attached to the people and what's going on and what's being said. Can I be shady? Hell yeah, I can be shady just like everybody else. But at the end of the day, I don't hate nobody. Ain't nothing gonna have me knocking on somebody's door and all of that. I'm not doing that, but I said what I said. And again, I went over because Dory said something that was incorrect and I wanted to correct it. I wasn't even going up there for Bree. It was really for Dory. Bree happened to ask a question. I answered her question, and then Bree went left and I went left. But at the end of the day, what I was not going to do is sit there and argue with someone. I don't owe her any explanation of anything. I don't. And if I want to do something, I have a whole platform and I don't have to utilize anybody else's platform to do it. So anyway, but Hershey, yeah, it's a lot going on, Hershey. Somebody sent me at 8:08, and let me say this because baby, the girls are like, "Oh, you were sitting over there watching her." No, at 8:08, someone sent me email with a link to the Georgia Gazette with Youssef's, with his full name. What's up, Rodney? His full name and his picture and what he was charged with. I knew it was Bibb County. Bibb County is Macon, Georgia. And I'm like, wow. I sat back. I'm like, well, I don't know the person who sent this. Why did they send it? What do they want to happen? I'm thinking of all of these things in my mind. How could other people be implicated who has nothing to do with this? And again, this is why I'm looking at the community. How is the beef sector going to deal with this? How should I handle this? And that's exactly why I wouldn't rush in to click on no link or rush in to do that. I wasn't trying to do that at all, because I was sitting back in the cut, reading the email, thinking about those things. So I don't care who went first, second, or third. That shit don't matter to me. It's never mattered to me. I would rather be right. I would rather be measured than first. First don't always mean you win. I'm just saying. And at this particular point, especially when people calling people in the community PDF files for anything, yeah. And to this day, you all, let me say this. People can report how they want to. I can't control other people's platforms and how they think about this. I can't control none of that, because everybody is responsible for his or her or their platforms. Period. Everybody's responsible. You have some people who are gay who are like, that's what he deserved. So da 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 da. And they have every right. They have every right. You have some people that already passed judgment to say he's guilty. And by the looks of it, it looks like that. But again, I'm not a court of law. So I don't make those decisions. It's not a good place to be. And again, there is a victim here, and we're gonna see this play out. Period. Now, Youssef was not a person who frequented the Rider Lives over here. He rarely showed up over here. Okay, so it is what it is. But Rodney, exactly, Rodney, exactly. All I say is use wisdom. They really are trying to throw the pedo or the PDF file label on me, but people are crazy. But that's the whole thing, Rodney. And again, you all, now, if I'm not mistaken, the person who's trying to run with that narrative, they have shown women in compromising position who have had relationships with them. If I'm not mistaken, there was a woman who was going to interview with Kimmy who said that that particular content creator had shared some things with her that she didn't want, if you catch my drift. And she was about to interview with Kimmy. Well, that individual threatened to put her video out because he tapes it. Now, they are two grown consenting adults. But when somebody doesn't know that you're taping an event and you threaten to put it out there, That could be seen as revenge porn. And it's real predatory to me. See, this is why I just look at these people with the side eye. And this is why I go back to the Epstein, the Weinstein, hell, the Cosby, anybody who has been accused of this, because it's the behavior and not the orientation. It's the behavior and not the orientation. Hershey, girl, you need to, where have you been all night? I mean, he's locked up because, according to the police report, he was trying to entice a minor to have relations. And that's why he's locked up. And he's been locked up since November. And I knew he was locked up since November. I mean, it's sitting right on the report. So again, people act like they don't know who got that email. Everybody got the email. And let me tell you something, y'all. The thing that is really interesting is Youssef is almost like some of these other people. They don't come to the beef sector often. They want to do their thing, and so they're in the beef sector, but they're not in the beef sector. And so it's a big story, even though he just comes and goes in ebbs and flows. The last big thing Youssef was in, besides telling Ro he wanted to tear him up, which a lot of people are bringing up now, and I believe Shakim thought it was a little weird. Now that was something that pops up, but the biggest thing is him needing tires. And Louisiana Red Hot Sauce, I guess, got him some tires, and him over there being with Dover them. That's the last biggest thing beef sector wise. So it is what it is. Well, Hershey, girl, okay, girl, they can't tell you can't get into the University of Penn, not Penn State, baby, University of Pennsylvania. Okay, you can't put nothing past you, Hershey. My God, today. So anyway, y'all, that's why I'm on here today. So yeah, the Bri thing is correct, you all. I mean, Bri and I agree on it's about behavior and not orientation. Where we went left is that she tried to act like, somebody took her stuff. And I'm like, baby, I got this email at 8:08. I didn't even know you were on. And then the other thing that's critical is I was going up to talk to Dory and not her. And she's trying to talk about some skip the games and stuff. And I'm like, girl, we're not, no. We're talking about accountability. And y'all just throw around shit. And I'm like, girl, we're talking about the Youssef situation. So let's sit and agree on stuff. Stop trying to have a moment. Stop trying to have a moment and focus. So yeah. Well, let me say this, y'all. I saw Bri when I was heading home, and Bri was on, and Diva Tomboyish was on, and she said some stuff that I'm like, you need to chill out. And Bri, I'm real. This is why Room Shaker and Philip Boy came up, because you were disclosing more than you should. We didn't need to know about people peeling layers back and sticking it in, and we didn't need to know your man was crazy. Ooh. And that's what got me. I mean, you need to take accountability for people mining you for information. And you think you have to answer the questions? Oh my God. That's why I said what I said and I left. I didn't need to sit up there and argue. It's not because of accountability. It was like, because I'm not going to sit up there and argue with you about that. I really came up to talk to Dory. I really didn't come up to talk to you or Tracy. It was the Dory situation because I didn't let people up on my platform because I didn't really want to have a panel. And I think that's my right not to do that. It's not because I'm not, because I was angry for what? I'm not the one in jail. I'm not the one in court. So why am I going to be angry? That doesn't make any sense. But what I wasn't going to do is sit there and argue and give Pizarro, and it's not Pizarro's fault, but give her a moment and money on my time. I'm not giving y'all this. I click right on my link and put some commercials right up in there because I'm not emotionally attached to y'all and don't owe you really nothing. So that's how I felt about it. Yeah, Jada. Yes, Johnny, you're right. Correct, Hershey. Well, baby, I don't know. And see, let me say what Diva was, and like I said, this is my observation of it. I'm not saying this is Diva's intent, but this is my observation. Diva was asking questions like, how y'all big girls do it? Do you all like sit on it and Brianna says, if my man was here, he'd be mad at me. But we do it just like everybody else. And he stick it in and she talking about, I feel every inch. I mean, I'm like, baby, it sounds like Rasputia realness right here. I'm like, why you doing that? And then she was saying that, yeah, her man got some issues and she has to talk him down because, he got some issues. And I'm like, girl, why? I'm like, really? Oh, Norbert, I'm with child, Norbert. Girl, really? And so I'm sitting up there and I'm hearing this, and y'all, it got really bad. It got to the point where Room Shaker and Spill It Boy, Treasure Lane, came up because they saw what was going on. They saw that line of questioning and how this was going on. Because it also, and see what Diva Tomboyish did to Bree is what Bree was trying to do inadvertently to me, and I wasn't going for it. You're not gonna ask me crazy questions and so on and so forth. Diva Tomboy asked her a line of questioning. It was all about Jason, and Brianna was upset because I guess he was calling somebody with her name and ruining that person's life because she wanted to know this. And Diva Tomboy turned that thing around and went straight to her sex life that quickly. And the focus was on that situation. Child, that's what she said. It was. And I'm not mad at Diva because that's what Diva do. Not Diva does, but that's what Diva do. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, no, man, we ain't gonna do that. I'm like, that happened to you earlier. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So y'all look, and I'm not, and this is not, but that's what happened. So I'm like, damn, because and again, what Diva did was she was saying that big girls got to have sex different ways in a roundabout way. And what Brie was trying to do is prove that no, big girls don't. Big girls have sex just like everybody else. But we really didn't need to know that. And you really didn't need to have to prove it but you felt the need to have to prove it and go through all of this and then reveal stuff that we shouldn't have known, to the point that you revealing your whole sex life and you revealing that your man crazy and you got to talk him down, because that's what you said. You have to talk him down because XYZ. And then you said that if he was here, he would be pissed off, which I don't blame him, because you did too much and you don't need to be talking about that. Y'all hold on for a minute. Hello?
Hello, Dr. Passive here. I think it is important to remember when dealing with these particular individuals that you are seeing extreme lack of mental health. And you're also seeing individuals who do not want to seek out any sort of help for their mental health.
Okay. That's why I had my banner up. Okay, interesting. It sounds like a bot, but anyway. Like I said, you all, and can I say this? I don't care if Bree got to use a step ladder to get beat down. That's her business. It ain't none of mine. I don't care if they okay got to use fish grease. That ain't none of my business. And her man's mental health is none of my business. I mean, we're talking about it now because she put it out there, but this is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And so to skip the games, which was ZT, that was a while back. People evolve. There are some things that was done earlier I wouldn't even think about, because again, YouTube it was a wild wild west back in the day, but you live and you learn. And this, I guess, is why I try to at least help these new content creators, because when you done seen it and when you done went through it, you try to help people not to go through the same thing. Even if they don't, it will not be said that I didn't put it out there to help. And I'm real about that. If she had to tell it, just Roxy, she did it. And if she had to tell it, that's what I'm saying. And because of your size, you want to let people know that, hey, I'm getting beat down. Baby, this thing is getting knocked all around. So I would look like a whole slut, you know, to fit in. But number one, you don't need to let people know. You can be a slut if you want to, that's fine, but that's between you and your man. We shouldn't have even known that that man was in landscaping. We shouldn't even known that that man had 8 kids. I mean, see, I'm saying, it's just like, we shouldn't have even known that, because you done been in the game long enough to know better, I guess. But again, you so busy trying to fit in, you let Diva, and like I said, this ain't a bash Diva. It's just Diva. Diva asked some questions and got some answers, and I'm like, damn, look at Diva. I said, y'all see what Diva doing? Child. Because Diva was saying, hey, you a big girl. How y'all do these things? How y'all do that? No, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. We do it like everybody else. Yeah. He get in, and I feel. Do you feel it? Every inch of it. Girl, I'm like, damn, look at this shit. I said, look at this shit. You'd be mad at me if I was telling you this right now, Diva. Oh yeah, y'all don't know if I didn't love that man because then Diva took the avenue, and y'all Diva is diabolical. Diva then took the path of you just using that man for some peen. You just using that man for peen. You don't really love that man. You know, I said, oh, she gonna get you real good now because I see what she doing. Oh, I be getting some peen. Oh, I be getting some peen. Oh, I love him. All I gotta go through with that man. Oh, I got to love him because I gotta talk him down. Because mentally, nobody would be able to do it. It took a lot to love him. I'm like, girl, you don't see what she just did to you? A simple bitch love compliments, and she ate that shit right on up. Honey, she ate that shit right on up. You just using that man. You just. Oh, I get some pee. Oh no, I get some pee. No. And then she talked about the man. That little piece, and then she went and said it takes a lot to love that man. Girl, I'm like, look at Diva. Child. I'm like, my goodness, Jesus. So then I get over to Pisa's channel, and she thought I was going to go back to deal with that ZT situation, which I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I've evolved. There's some things that I did back in the day. You learn from it and you don't do. Different place now, different situation. And even with the ZT situation, it wasn't criminal where it was, skip the games is between two consenting adults. This is a totally different situation. Okay. That man's court stuff was all in there. I didn't look up that man nursing certificate and all of that stuff. I didn't do that. Really interesting. And so my focus was really not arguing with her because even if I would, still didn't make any sense because ZT ain't trying to convince somebody underage to come be with him intimately. Has nothing to do with that. But yet again, you're trying to move the ball. And you should have been focusing on what Diva was doing to you. But what she did to you, you weren't going to do to me, ma'am. And I had sense enough to click off that link. Not because I couldn't fight. I didn't need to. I said what I said and I left. And that accountability shit means nothing to me because at the end of the day, I meant what I said. Period. So anyway, y'all, it is what it is, baby. Ain't jealous, ain't mad. The girls want to play this, you're angry. Nope. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. And I said what I said. And here come Tracy, and I'm like, girl, and again, girl, you got enough stuff to deal with. You talking about piss tastes like warm beer. I'm like, ugh, really? And you got the nerve to say somebody breath stink, but you drinking pee out here? Okay, okay. Mm, my, mm. My breath stink, but you kissing an ashtray and doing God knows what with it? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Now, again, I'm Sparkles. We good. I don't have a problem with Sparkles, but I meant what I said because people get on platforms and change topics, and I'm really gonna just drive the topic exactly back to where it is. And so, hey, Room Shaker, Room Shaker, I know what you did yesterday, and I appreciate you and Treasure Lane doing what y'all did for Brianna because y'all know she was getting set up. Well, she got set up, and y'all know I'm so glad y'all went to try to help that lady because it was getting deep over there. It was a lot of stuff that was being disclosed, and Room Shaker and Treasure Lane went over there to help a girl out because, baby, she looked like a whole seal in a sea of killer whales. Oh, you didn't hear those questions Diva was asking her and her answers and all of that stuff that she was putting out? Oh, it was deep. It was deep. You got to go back and listen. I was coming home. It had to be around about 5, 6 o'clock or something, baby. Yeah, and I think Room Shaker came up because somebody was asking questions about big girl sex. Like big girl sex is different than anybody else's sex, and and Room Shaker came on in there, and Diva kept on saying, "Ooh, but y'all both got pretty faces." I'm like, okay, for the pretty faces. But Room Shaker came on in there, and I think she was Diva was so shady with those questions, baby. Hey, Just Roxy, you was there. Okay, and so Room Shaker and Treasure came up to the rescue because, honey, somebody was spilling tea and didn't know she was spilling tea. Do you gotta sit on it hard? Do you gotta, child? Because Brianna had to prove that her sex is just like anybody else's sex, which she really didn't have to prove. But she wanted to prove to everybody. And then Diva took it a step further. I'm like, damn, Diva. Diva said, you just using that man. She said, you just using that man for dick. You don't really want that man. You don't love that man. Like Shanae, you don't love him. And no, baby. I can get dick anywhere. I can get dick anywhere. Oh, I'll get dick anywhere. But you got to love that man. Lord knows what I've been through with him. You gotta love him. I've had to talk him down. And I'm like, oh, your man crazy? Oh, because nobody else would love him. But you special. You special. And you can talk him down and stuff. I'm like, look at Diva. Child Room Shaker and Treasure went up there and they had to buffer, baby, because it was getting real intense. All I'm gonna say. Baby, just Roxy, she was answering them questions, girl. She was answering them questions. And Room Shaker done went quiet now, but Room Shaker know, baby, she done got quiet now. But then that heifer got the nerve to try to do me on Pieces channel like the hell you want. I said, I'm clicking off this bitch right now. Click. God bless you and thank you. I did a Brian. God bless you and thank you. And it wasn't passive aggressive. It was just, I'm getting the hell off of here because I see what y'all trying to do. It ain't about no accountability. I don't have time for this. Ain't nobody got time for that. And move right on. And came right on to my channel and did what I needed to do right over here. I ain't gonna sit up there and fight and make pizza money. Hell no. I'm gonna come right onto my channel, amen, and do what I need to do. Uh, anyway, y'all, what else is going on? Because I'm getting ready to head off in a few minutes. I got some stuff to do. I'm gonna be on later on though, because I gotta shave my face and I gotta get ready for my little brunch. So, hey, Lyric. Hey, Lyric. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Let me put my banner up. Hey, who are you? I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Who are you? You new. So you need to type in the back chat who you are. I don't know who you are. So you need to put something in the back chat because I don't give everybody access to me. I don't know who you are. So you need to type something in the back chat. Okay. Well, okay. I got to kick people from the studio. Everybody want to, let me tell you something, baby. It ain't a season for access either. Baby, it is not a season for access. Everybody want to get access. Nope, not today. Not today. Everybody want to get some access. I'm not giving everybody access. Some people who get access when they get paid up. Mm-hmm. All right, Lyric. Hold on for a minute. Give me a minute. What's up, Viv?
Good morning. How are you this morning,
Hey,
sweetheart?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. What's going on?
First off, allow me to say good morning to you, Brother Jay.
Hey.
Good morning, Ryder Lives. How are you guys today? Peace and blessings to everyone. I was listening. I've been listening. I've been down.
Mm-hmm.
I've been down up in the clouds. I've been swinging on my tree swing. Listen, Brother Jay, let me ask you a question. First off, did you
Mm-hmm.
get that text message I sent you with that little link, that link
Now I gotta check it, Viv. When did you send it?
yesterday?
Okay, now Viv, I was, I was doing things yesterday, so I gotta check it.
It's someone we know mutually
Mm-hmm.
with a new tune out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I gotta
Okay,
check it out.
check it out and tell me what you think. I think it's a wonderful thing. Listen, so
Okay.
my other thing is, you guys know that what is it, January 1st or New Year's, bro, Jay? Well, the last
January
day.
1st.
Okay, so the last date to submit your banners for the 2026 banner contest will be
December 26th.
December 26th. So you guys got till the day to after Christmas to submit your banners. And guess what? We got the 2026 banner contest. We also got that struggle banner thing. So do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? The busted banner. Listen, the goal is to get to what, 2,000? We're almost there. Y'all donate. Cash out.
I don't
Cash
know,
out.
Vivian. I think we look. I think we it, girl. Because this USEF thing and these people. I don't know, Vivian. Look, what you think about that, Vivian? Because again, I am doing my thing. I'm not saying that that person is
Okay.
exonerated. I'm not a court of law, but it don't look good. But my thing is,
Okay. So
everybody who is in the community ain't a PDF file. Okay.
okay, so first off, I want to say this. Everyone that people are putting that label on is not necessarily that label because you really don't know all of the extenuating circumstances. Secondly, I have not read the article, so I um right now I'm kind of standing back and reserving judgment. I know you get your ass on my bed. Where my belt at? Beat the shit up. Get your ass. Get out this room. Get
Girl.
your ass out this room. You know you don't come in here. Stand outside the door. Get your ass. Get outside the door.
Oh Jesus.
Anywho, y'all, I got this one new dog. He has to stand outside the door. He's not allowed to come in because he a boy dog and he has a mid-fiction. So he
Mm.
think he my boyfriend, and he not. Ain't got no dogs with no boyfriends. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Everyone deserve the chance, and they're innocent until proven guilty. And we must also realize that we're going on a
And a
news
police
report,
report. It's a police
and
report.
wait a minute, and a police report. Now, I'm
Hmm.
not victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming, and I'm not going to victim shame. But the Central Park 5 should tell you how police reports and news reports go. They are not always favorable to our young men. I'm just going to leave it at that, Bruh Jay. And you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just saying though, it don't look good. And my thing is, if he
Okay,
did the crime, he need to do the time.
okay, but listen at what I'm about to say. The Central Park 5 didn't look good either.
Hmm.
The news reports and the police report didn't look good for them either. And I am not taking up for you, Seth. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm standing back and I want to see this all play out, and I want to see all the facts laid out on the table,
Correct.
because I would want the benefit of the doubt myself if
Correct.
if I were in this situation, because we don't know all of the extenuating circumstances. That's all I'm saying. Because there's things that they hold back from the public. There are things that for those of you who don't know how police work run, you might see an initial arrest record, but there are things that police do in their investigation. Police have extra investigation notes. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah.
Well, I'm going to see what happens. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't live in Macon, Georgia, where all of this happened. So again, I'm like you. I'm reserving judgment. It just don't look good right now, and we'll see. We'll see
And we
what
can,
happens. I
and
want to thank. Hold on for a minute. I want to thank SM. Thank you, SM, for that old nasty piece of coin. I appreciate it. Ooh, I appreciate it. Thank you, SM. Go ahead, Vivian.
and I can agree that, that there are things that we don't know and we do see and we don't see. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm just gonna stand back. So you guys allow me to stand back and reserve judgment until all of this plays out.
Yeah, because a lot of people said, and like I said, he was very aggressive with Honest Row. He said he was going to tear Honest Row back up. Now,
And that is
again,
the wait a minute, and that's the other thing we got to think about. You got to be cognizant of what you say here, because there are
Lord,
things that you say on here that will come back and bite you in the ass later on.
my God,
It
today.
don't matter how much you've changed, when you've changed, how you've changed. It will come back and bite you in the ass later on. And that's
What's
what
up,
I'm going to
Rebel?
say.
Yeah, hey, Rebel.
Hey,
Hey, Rebel. Hey,
hey,
good morning, sweetheart.
good morning to y'all. I
And
wanted to chime in after you finished, Vivian. I'm
oh,
sorry.
okay. And in reference to him saying he's gonna blow Roe back out, Roe is a grown ass man. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, but hey, if that's what he wanted to do and that's their conversation that they have, who the hell am I to be in that conversation? I ain't got shit to do with it.
Hmm.
Woo, cheering.
But let me
But
say this, though, and I agree with you, Vivian, but maybe it'll come back up, even if it don't have nothing to do with it. Room shaker, you ain't slick. You ain't say nothing, niece. You ain't say nothing, niece, but somebody was getting set up. I'm gonna leave that alone. What's up,
but
Rebel?
again, it's the optics. You right, it's optics.
Hmm. What's up, Reb?
I wanted to add this whole thing. I get Vivian's point and also some of the other people's point. We do have to wait till all the dust has settled, because think about it. It's disgusting, first off. I
Hmm.
don't even accept, even on my Facebook, I don't accept people's children on my Facebook. If you're not a relative, your son cannot send me a friend request and they're like 16. I've had
Hmm.
younger, when I was 22, which was a few years ago, when I was 22 and I would go to the club,
Room
I
shaker.
met a guy.
Hey,
Me
Okay, go ahead, Reb. I just want to make sure it was
me
room shaker. Go ahead.
so me and this guy end up, we messed around and I ran into him like 10 years later. And he was telling me, man, what we did. He was bragging about it, of course. And I was like, how old were you? I said, because you still look pretty young. He said, oh, I was 17. I said, wait, hold up. You were seven. I said, people have to realize when you go to clubs and stuff, you're not asking people to see their ID. I'm thinking you're legal because you didn't got into the damn adult club. So I was like 22, 23, but anyone can get hemmed up. Don't sit up here and tell me when people, and I'm not defending Yusuf. If he did that, he needs to be thrown under the jail. But we don't ask people, just like you don't ask people to see their health records or anything. You don't ask people when you're your 20s. I'm not asking you, hey, let me see your ID and see how old you are. Anyone can get caught up like that. Just imagine if that's your sons, because a lot of you have young men as sons. If that was your son and they met a girl and she was underage, would you say your son do you think your son should be thrown under the jail if he didn't know? Now, if you know and you go, because there are predators that go after younger. I have a friend that he dates legally, but I always tell him, damn, can you at least date someone that's able to drink? But I think that like when ZX came up, he was trying to do this spin, that's why they don't want children around people in the community, because no. There's predators in every community. There's predators in every community, and there are older men that look at younger girls that be turned on more than gay men are. So I
Mhm.
mean, it's disgusting. If he did that and he thought it was a minor, Yusuf needs to be in jail for a long period of time. If he didn't do it, it'll be exposed.
Okay,
Let's
what's
put
up, Room
yourself in someone
Shaker?
else's shoes.
Okay, I hear you. What's up, Room Shaker? Rebel, I hear you. People say that's crazy, Rebel. Well, let me say this, y'all. There are people, again, men as well. People put on this little makeup for the girls and they try to be a little adult like. But in the clubs, how old you? Don't sit down somewhere. But a lot of people don't. And I'm not saying that, but back in the day, and think of y'all now, y'all
Jay,
think of this too.
can
Hold on.
you
Think of
keep
this as well too. I grew up in the 80s, and in the 80s, things are different now. We're more conscious of these things. We're more conscious of this, and that. In the 80s, child, nobody was conscious of stuff. So again, it is what it is. I agree. Okay, what's up, Room Shaker?
hold on, Jay? Can I touch on that real quick in
Okay.
reference to the young girls in the club? Listen, you guys, and I'm talking from the heterosexual community. And y'all, listen, let's not pretend to act like, and I'm not shaming anybody. Now, it is the adult's job to go and do the extra work and figure out if this person is younger or whatever. But y'all stop fucking acting like y'all wasn't young one time trying to get in the club and y'all asses knew you were too fucking young to get in the club. Let's
Mm.
be honest. Let's be honest with that shit. I was 18 years old. I could legally do stuff on base that I could not do off post. But my ass was still going to the fucking clubs when I wasn't supposed to be in the clubs.
Somebody said, but
And
the charge said he knew the child was a minor, and see, that's another difference. So
how
when you know
okay, wait a
somebody,
minute.
that's a whole
How
different thing.
if
Right.
that's if yeah, that's if he knew the child. And listen, y'all, again, uh I have not gone in there and I have not read the report. That's why I said I'm reserving judgment. I'm waiting. So I haven't read the report. And don't get me wrong, in no way am I taking up for Yusuf if he's done it. If he did it, his ass need to be charged. If he did it, he knew the child was a minor, he need to get everything he got coming to him and deserve. He need to be fucked up. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I take this shit personally. I'm a military sexual trauma survivor. My situation was a little weird and different, where I had a grown man that came after me. I was barely legal. I went in, for most people that don't know, I went in the military at 17. I turned 18 in the military. Okay? So yeah, I understand that minor thing and this and that and the other. And it's not like this nigga didn't know how old I
Well,
was.
first of all, I don't think
But
anybody is.
either way.
Hold on for a minute. I don't think anybody is victim blaming. I don't think anybody blamed the victim. How are we gonna blame the victim? We don't even know who the victim is. So I don't
Right.
think anybody is victim blaming. I will say that everybody doesn't do anything because we don't know everybody, but there are some people who know, there are some people who can relate. So let me say that, but no one is victim shaming anyone here because we don't know the victim.
And
And
I
my
would
thing is
never
this,
victim blame.
all I say is that the court is going to run its course and we're going to see and we're going to sit back and watch to see what happens. Because I don't live in Macon, Georgia. I'm only going off of what the police reports say and what has been presented. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. And no one
Okay,
should
And
can
be talking to
again,
minor
I
kids.
speak so I can get down? Because this sleep like this gonna be a long
hey
ride.
room shaker,
Yeah,
how are
let
you,
room
Hey,
shaker
sweetheart?
say
good
what you got
morning,
to
Miss
say.
Vivian. Good morning, my rebel. Okay, so I came
Hey,
back here.
boo.
I hit the link yesterday because I felt like Diva was being intrusive and she was going, oh my gosh, she was going too far. Like, I don't know what made her say it, but as a big girl, I got very offended because we have sex like everybody else. You can
And you know
bend, you
what?
can twist, you can cop it open, you can hit it from every angle, and quite frankly, most men enjoy it, and women too. So the fact that
My
Brianna
uncle
was
said that.
entertaining the thought of it, it was sickening. I'm like, oh wow. So that's why I hit the link, Brother Jay.
But you know what though? But I was right in my assessment because and Trace, you hit the link as well because I knew what was going on. And then to say y'all got pretty faces and stuff. So it's like you had to be special to be a big girl to have sex. But this is the thing, Room Shaker, she didn't have to answer those questions. And I think she
Exactly.
revealed far more than she really needed to by answering that question. And then it got even deeper with that man's mental health because Diva put her in the okie doke to say, you just using that man for peen. And then she felt like, no, girl, I get that all the time. And then, it takes a lot to love that man. And I'm like, oh, see, you get, oh,
Well, basically the way Diva was. Oh, Diva was vulgar yesterday because she was like, I'm trying to figure out how he got up in there like it was
and she
unacceptable.
didn't
It
get
was
it. And
rock. I was
she,
like, this too much.
And it was. And I felt shame for her because you didn't need to say, let me say this. I'm not in your bedroom. Like I said, I don't care if your man got to use a step ladder to get up in it. It's none of my business. But you let that lady punk you into telling all of your business and then some, and then some, and that man's mental health status because you really put that man's status out there when you said, well, it takes a lot to love him because nobody can do what I do. I have to talk him down. And I'm like, oh, your man crazy? I'm like, damn, you just put it out in so many words. And it was really interesting to me. So I was not wrong in my assessment, Room Shaker, because I believe that you went up there to help her out. I believe he was offended too because it was acting like y'all got to get baby. How she made it sound like y'all need to get the blue handicap sticker and put it so y'all can get special parking. I mean, how she had it like y'all got to have
Now,
special.
Pastor, you acting like you
No, I'm
acting like
not.
no,
No,
yes, you
I'm
have.
not.
You done
No,
seen me cammed up and I ain't got a
let me
pouch
say
over
this.
my
No, no,
feet,
no,
so you
but no, I'm
trolling.
just saying that how she made it sound, and then you don't have to prove yourself. Don't forget, Diva. I mean, not Diva. Don't forget, Room Shaker. I was heavy. I was almost at 300. So again, I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to act like, oh, I've been skinny forever. No, I've had some instances of that. So I'm sitting there listening. But how she made it sound like is like y'all was handicapped, like y'all needed the blue handicap sticker to get in park and how she was doing. And the thing that got me was
Once
I thought
again,
it was wrong too.
you
I
making that
thought it was
plural. She
wrong
was
too.
talking specifically to Bree. She didn't ask me them type of questions. I inserted myself because I thought it was offensive.
It was. But it
But
was
it
more
was
offensive
towards
that
me. You
it
saying
was.
y'all take that y'all out of there, Pastor.
Well. What I'm just saying. Well, no, 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 no. You checked her, but she did say that you had a pretty face, y'all. She said,
Yeah, she did say
y'all.
y'all got a pretty
Okay,
face.
I'm saying I heard. Let me tell you something, baby. I listens. I know I can say a lot, but I listens, and I heard that. So again, it was going after the group. I think you was just smart enough not to answer that foolishness
I
and
asked her, did
to
she want
check
me
it.
to have sex and tape it so she can watch it?
And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
hmm She said, yeah. She
I
said, I'll
look at
watch it.
it.
That's what she said.
Let's go, Rebel.
So, but this is the thing though. But you know, now I just want you to be up here, room shaker. But I'm not lying about that line of questioning and how she answered those questions.
It was intrusive and it
It was
was
very
disgusting at
intrusive.
the same
And that's
time.
why I
So
feel it. And when Treasure came up right after you came up, because baby, people were trying to when and this is no pun intended, but these are very protective animals. So I don't want nobody to think I'm calling her elephant. But baby, when elephants see lions, they start circling around their young to protect them. And that's exactly how it looked. Not saying y'all elephants, Lord knows, but I'm just using that group because they're very communicative, they're very sensitive. And it was just like y'all was trying to circle around her because y'all know she was getting hit. And she didn't know she was getting hit. And that's the sad part about it. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I saw it. And so, yeah, let me tell you something. Room shaker, so much crap is going on. And this is why I look at people like Ghetto Intellect with the side eye. Because again, it's always to make women look stupid. Or to make women look some kind of way. And I look at that too, and I'm like, you know, I see stuff in the sector. And don't get me wrong, Rebel was here when I started, Vivian was here when I started. There are some things that I did back in the day that I wouldn't even think about doing now. When we started YouTube in the beef sector, it was the wild, wild west. But my thing is, again, and I'm going to say this, a lot of stuff that we've learned and had to go through, we're telling you all don't go through these things. We're telling y'all don't have to do this. But it seems like it goes on deaf ear. So it is what it is, but it would let it be known that I'm going to call it out. But yeah. And so, yeah, it got deep because of the USEP thing. And like I said, Bri and I agree about the USEP situation, that this is about behavior and not orientation. But, you know, and I was really coming up to address Dory because I didn't want people on my panel because it was not a panel type situation for me. And so you trying to hem me up about some Anthony, let me not call that man name, about some ZT mess that happened, and ZT was skipping the games on his own accord. He wasn't dealing with no PDF stuff. So that's what you tried to do. And then after I left, tried to say that I need to be held accountable. I'm like, what? And then tried to say I was watching your stuff. Baby, I got that email at 8:08. So again, my thing is I brought it back to that because now what I did listen to was Diva come on your platform, and it went from a person who was terrorizing the whole beef sector, and then it flipped that quick for her asking you sex questions. That's what I didn't get. And so all I'm saying is just keep it on the focus. Keep it on what we're talking about. So that's all I'm saying, room shaker.
okay,
Bridget,
Pastor. Yes.
yeah, room shaker, and you've been listening to this whole conversation. Am I right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so my question: did you hear what I said when I stated that this was not about the victim, right?
Correct.
This is about Yusef and his predatory behaviors if he has them, right?
Right.
Okay, so do you think I blame the victim in any way?
No, I don't. But I wanted to address Pastor too on that.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Pastor, I feel like you're running off with the content because I don't think it can be based on y'all sexuality because we have heterosexual people that do the same thing. They prey on their family members, their friends, kids from the area, and everything. So there's no way they can attack the gays over this topic because it reached out to a lot of other people. So I'm just saying that I wouldn't even take offense to it, but it has been a lot of predatory because ZX is, like you said yesterday, ZX is not a spokesperson because I was on Lady Law panel when he told Jay Dunn that he feel like she ain't experienced a man, so he wanted to take her virginity and make her change to be heterosexual. So I can understand how you feel about him because he's a very creep and weird person, but people entertain him. So how are they holding Yusuf to the fire?
Yeah. Well, my thing is this. I
Right.
just want to make sure everybody knows that it's behavior and not orientation. And if nothing else, that's what I want to do. Let me talk to uh this what is this pro Hoseway or Houseway? There are some people who've gone into clubs and been not honest about their age. And I don't think Vivian is trying to suggest that everybody does that, but I know a few people who've done that. It may not happen in your life, but this is why I don't say everybody. And I think we need to be very careful when we say everybody, because, some people's experiences are not our experiences. And I can understand that. But I know some people who done snuck in clubs and lied about their age, male and female. I've known that to happen.
And Bruh
So
Jay,
I'm not saying that it's,
Mhm.
but it's realistic. That
Bruh Jay,
happens.
let me explain to you guys because I don't want anybody to get me misconstrued. The reason I said that, I'm talking about my experiences, and I'm saying Vivian put herself in harm's way. I'm not saying that young man was in harm's way, but I'm also
And do
saying
we know, is it a man or not? Did the
I don't know
police
if
say
it's a young
hold
male
on,
or a
but
young
hold on,
woman.
let me ask a question though. Hold on, put a pin in it. Let me ask a question. Did the police, because I didn't see from what I have the sex or the gender rather of the person. Do we know the gender of the person?
Has Yusuf ever said he was bi though, Jay? Because to me, he identifies as a gay man.
But that's what I'm saying. So do we know the gender of the person?
But
I have
it
no
would
clue.
most
And I'm
likely be
just
a
asking the
man.
question. Huh?
It would most likely be a man
But
because
we don't
he's
know. We don't
identifies as.
know.
And the
I
other
understand
thing
that.
is, again, so I just want to go back to what my explanation was. What I was saying was, I know what I've done in the past, is what I'm saying. I'm also saying that not everybody uh uh tries to exploit young children. And guess what? There are heterosexual people, and we've seen it. It's been in the news. It's been proven, it's been litigated. There are plenty of heterosexual people that are out there exploiting children. So please stop. What I'm saying is, please stop putting that label on just the homosexual or the bisexual community.
Hmm. And let me
Now,
say this to Cosmic Girl. You're right. But I'm asking because people are saying that it is this, and this. You're right. It doesn't really matter the gender, but I'm asking because, again, unfortunately, reality, let's be real here. Let's be real here again. You don't hear this outcry with this Weinstein and Epstein thing. But if it was a man, baby, it would be all over the place. And I'm not saying it's right either way. But again, you all, Black people can't get away with certain things. Could it be all over the news? Okay, that coach with Michigan, baby, it's two white women involved. Oh, you know it's done. You know it's a done deal. But had it been a white man do this kind of stuff, it wouldn't have been a big hoopla. So again, I go right back to the gay and straight thing. If somebody gay does some stuff, baby, it is wildfire. And I'm just saying the severity is still there, but it's not as great as somebody who did that. So you're right. The gender shouldn't matter. But we know that gender and we know that color and race matters in America. And if you say it doesn't, you are sadly mistaken.
and
And
sexuality matters in America because there are a lot of, listen, Jay, I sit back, I listen at these folks. I'm down here in a patriarchal uh Caucasian society where, and I notice here that a lot of these white men, they put more onus on minorities, and then they put onus on people who are homosexual. Now listen, it's a dangerous thing and a slippery slope. All I'm saying is we must be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and like I said, y'all, nobody ain't making no excuses for nobody. But we have just has to be real.
And I don't even care for Yusuf like that. So I'm not, I just
Well,
say,
hold
imagine if
on for a
it's your
minute. Go
son, if
ahead,
that's your
Reverend.
son.
Mhm.
Imagine if that's your son or a man in your family, you would want due process. Again, if he did that, regardless, male, female, it's sick. That person's not 18 and older, they're underage. And most communities, I feel. So I think that we have to. Yusuf also had a history of being he was very aggressive in his approach to even like honest row. And he talked about who all the men he have bang all us and take all this. And so that doesn't look good when we hear that you was trying to coerce a minor to do something. So your track record sometimes speaks louder than words.
hmm and let me say this to Black Mall. I understand what you're saying, but I'm dealing with reality as well. And again, as a Black person, again, I do know that if that Michigan coach was white, the severity wouldn't be as much. I mean, let's look at Penn State and that scandal. It was bad, but nothing like this. And this was dealing with, unfortunately, it was dealing with men with the Penn State situation. So again, if you don't think race and sexuality don't play in this, I'm sorry. And I'm not victim blaming, because at the end of the day, the victim is still the victim. But the things around it, and this is my America, and I know her, and I know that race matters with her. I know that gender matters with her, because this is what America does. And you're right. I'm it's the victim. It's an underage person. We get it. But if you don't think that gender and color don't play in this, you are wrong. And I just hate to say that, because then we're playing into being naive. Now, it is wrong, and like I said, that if you did the crime, you need to do the time. And I don't veer from that. Whether you use self, no self, whatever, self, I don't care. But I'm just saying that people are treated differently because of these types of things. And I go back to the Epstein situation again. Rich and powerful people get covered. They get legal representation. They get police help. And people, and there should be a bigger outcry. So that's all I'm saying. If we're going to be fair, let's be fair across the board.
And I am going to say again, if Yusef done this, Yusef needs to be, the full extent of the law need to be thrown at him. If he
Yeah.
did this, everything that he gets, he deserves. All I'm saying is I'm going to reserve judgment because I have not read all the Listen, y'all,
Yeah. Well, Biggie,
I'm
you
not going to
said it.
I'm not going to chase behind nobody's downfall. I'm not going to chase behind nobody's downfall because I'm living real life over here.
Yeah. And
But
I'm with you. And like I said, and yes, this is a show. This is content. But my thing is, I look at this differently. I look at this differently because my thing is, Yusef in this situation is front and center. His behavior is allegedly severe enough that he is in jail without bail. So the evidence that they have on him, they think that it's compelling enough that a judge won't even give him bail, which is not a good sign. However, he still has not had his day in court yet to get, whether he's innocent or not. And then even after that, he'll get his sentence. So I'm not saying that that is wrong. That's going to happen. But what I am saying is, and people have called people PDFs around here like people putting on underwear. I was called that maybe a day ago, And so knowing how people try to put a jacket on the community is where I am. And then I look at Brianna with the side eye because these people that she was a missionary and brought over here, all these people, when they were attacking gay men, they thought it was cute. They thought it was funny. Oh, yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on. But then when those same men turned around and attacked them, then those same people who they got to attack, they wanted those folk to help. And that's why I sat back in the cut and watched, because I'm like, oh, absolutely not. And it
But
reminds me, let me tell you, Rebel, what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the women who love those men who can do their hair and they kiki with them, but when they see them in the club, then they get with their friends and talk about them.
or white people doing that with black people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just very. I think the bottom line is this: if this man broke the law, he should be thrown under the jail, because I know
Mhm.
people will take this commentary and they'll be like, "Oh, y'all are victim shaming, or y'all trying to." I don't personally care for Yusuf. Let me just say that. But I just think that I'm able to put myself in others' shoes when it comes to due process. If he did it, he needs to be locked away. But if he didn't, it'll come out. But if he knew this person was a minor, you're disgusting. You should have went up. There are plenty of people, Yusuf. You're not a bad looking guy. You could have went and got someone.
And
It's
this is the
just
thing, Rebel, and I
weird.
agree with you,
And
but this
guess
is
what? I say the same thing for females that do it. You have all of those female teachers that decide, oh, I like this kid. They asses need to be locked up. Anybody bothering somebody child need their asses locked up. Hell, go on, throw them in the wood chipper because
A
their
woman
asses
tried
need
to
to
do
be
that to
gone.
me.
You
can
know
I
what
say
One
I'm
of my
this?
saying?
mom's
But let me
friends
let me go
approached
let me
me.
go a little step farther. If Yusuf is still found innocent, he's going to wear that badge for the rest of his life. I don't care what the judge says, he's gonna wear it for the rest of his life. And I just think that people really need to realize that, because again, yeah. Yeah. So if he's found innocent, he's still gonna have to deal with the stigma.
I had one of my mom's friends when I was 16. Used to always tell me, "Oh, you got some pretty eyes. Oh, you'll make some pretty babies." When my mama wasn't there, this woman, I was in the kitchen washing dishes. I usually would hide them under the cabinets because I didn't like washing dishes. But she would, she came up behind me and she said, "Oh boy, you smell good, and oh, you look just like your daddy." And I was like, what the? I was thinking, because I knew my sexuality at the time already, and I just laughed it off and did something else. But it made me uncomfortable. Also, there was a pastor that went to my grandmother's church, and we would go to vacation Bible school, and I was like about 8 or 9. And he was in there because I was surprisingly very mischievous. He pulled me into his quarters and was talking to me. And this man, like, he said, you're a nice young man. He had his hand on my shoulder, and it made me feel so uncomfortable, because later on we found his wife left him because he was messing around with the minister of music and a few other choir members. But
Mhm.
I felt uncomfortable because that man was trying to groom me. Because when he would see me, he would say, "Come over here, young man." And yeah, it was weird.
And
So
Robert, and
sickness
I'm
comes
glad
in
you
all forms.
But let me say this, I'm glad you bring that out too, because I keep on telling people those type of men do not identify as gay. They do not identify with the community. And that's what I tell you. So when something like
Hmm.
that happens, then everybody want to lump them in. No, no. And gay people like, no, absolutely not. He don't identify. He's straight for all we know. So that's why the scientific community calls them men sleeping with men, because they do not identify. That goes for people who are coming out of prison, who don't identify as gay. And this is why people need to be so careful, because there's a whole nother group. You got straight men, you got men sleeping with men, and you got gay men. And that's
But
it. And like I said, and so men sleeping with men, they don't deal with the emotional. They just want the sexual. They just want the sexual aspect of it. They want to get their rocks off and move on. But they still men
it's
sleeping with men. And then the
right,
ones
and
who are
they.
gay want a relationship. Want and not saying all gay men want
Hmm.
a relationship. but some of them don't. But men with men, sleeping with men, they will have a whole wife, a whole girlfriend. They will do all of that. They just want to have the sex without the commitment. They want to have it without the ridicule. It's almost like them passing. I'm going to pass for heterosexual, but in the
Mm-hmm.
meantime, I
Mm-hmm.
know what I really am.
And you know, Jay, the thing
And
is,
Jay, I see
it's
a lot.
true.
I see a lot of that down here where I'm at. Believe it or not, you find out. I have seen so many. Hey, they caught him in the bushes, and he was over there sucking peen. Wait a minute, that dude got a whole girlfriend, wife, and like 6 kids.
Vivian,
And,
I have
and
been
he's
telling
wait a minute, and he's super aggressive. Girl,
Vivian,
he's just doing
Vivian,
that
I have been
as a
telling
cover.
people. I have been telling people that I am not worried about cities like Chicago and New York and LA and Atlanta because you know what you're going to get. But it's these
Mm-hmm.
places like Huntsville and Beaufort, South
Mm-hmm.
Carolina and Greenville, South Carolina, where they are so religious. Baby, hey, them people are the most aggressive. It's not the big cities, it's these others. I told you I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and the
Listen,
man dropped
Jay,
off his girlfriend and came back
Jay,
to the Walmart.
wait a minute, Jay.
Mm.
I can name 4 guys right now. I got a gay cousin. This dude got a whole Facebook and TikTok series where he exposing dudes right here in our city. He had to move from McCormick to another city because he had so many dudes he exposed here. He got dudes he exposed in Greenwood, South Carolina. I'm talking about dudes with whole married families.
Let me say this,
And
Vivian.
these
It doesn't
dudes is
surprise me. It's the more conservative, the worse it is.
Mm-hmm.
The
Because
more conservative,
they're repressed. Because they're repressed.
it is.
They also the thing is, well, like with key lime pie. Let me tell you something. Key lime pie. I have a lot of stories, baby. I don't even tell y'all a half of it because these men, women, these don't ever think because a man talk about people in the community. Oh, my man, a real man here, baby. A lot of people in the community we were once those men that talked about people in the community. So don't ever get it twisted. Well, my daddy, he don't like these people. Baby, your daddy be at the bookstore going plucking everything up through the glory hole next to Lady Dimples. Stop playing.
Mhm.
And they sitting up here. The thing is, we made men have been, especially black men, have been made to be so unemotional that they don't know how to live in their truth. So what they do is go get married. My guy that I'm with now, he was married twice because both of his parents were pastors. So he was married at the age of 17 because he was raised. You can't go out there and be having, getting it on without being married. So he did what his mother and father wanted him to do. Was married to a woman for 17, one woman for 7 years, the other one about 10 years. Until he said, you know what, I'm not, he has no children. I'm not gonna ever do that again. I'm gonna live in my truth. He came out to his family, and he gave them the middle finger because he was tired of living according to what they wanted, how they wanted him to live. Meanwhile, everybody else in the family doing what the hell they want to do.
And can I say this? Everybody
Dominic,
is
yeah.
not gay.
Dominic, yeah.
Everybody is not gay. Let me say that. But when people are gay, we know who gay. Everybody ain't gay. All men aren't gay. But what I am
Right.
saying is that there are a lot of people, and what Rebel is saying is true. And a lot of people do not want to realize that. But I'm telling you, it is there. It is there. And the more conservative that community is, the worse it becomes. Because again, people have these expectations of these folk, and then people think what gay is supposed to be. Baby, gay is spectrum. It's just like black people. All black people ain't doing the same thing. So I don't get why people think that that's the same thing for gay people. And y'all,
And
I'm just
and
telling you,
Jay, can I say this also? There are heterosexual, like you said, there are heterosexual men. They are not doing the sexual act because they have some of physical. It's basically just just the physical. It has nothing to do with the emotional.
baby,
I'm
some
telling
Mm-hmm.
you.
some some of these men are so unattached. Let me say this: some people are just sex. Women and men. This is why I tell women, why you think men can hit you and beat your back down and leave you like you wouldn't shit and go and shave and leave? Because they're not attached emotionally. They are visual. And so my thing is, there are men sleeping with men, and that's a real category out there. Why do y'all think HIV rates so high in the South? Most gay people
Mm-hmm.
on Dr. Prep or Prep. So, but why you think it's so high? And see, this is what gets me upset. So everybody want to pick at, let me get some prep. You better get some prep because y'all numbers are up. Y'all the one. And see, you sitting there laughing, but it always, let me tell y'all how it flows. And see, I don't think people know how this shit flows. White heterosexual men are at the top of the apex in this, as far as political and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they are at the top because I feel that they're at the top. I'm just being real. Gay white men, when they start getting prep and stuff, gay white men got it first, and their rates start going down. Then black people get it next. Their rates start going down. You know who always are the Johnny come latelys? Straight men and straight women, black and black women, black men. And when I see people up there talking about some prep, baby, you better get yourself some something. You better get some because y'all
I
can
knew
sit
two
here and
women,
laugh at it.
Jay.
Huh?
I knew two women that passed away years ago because their husbands or boyfriends were out there living double lives. And when people say, well, these gay people out there, they have it unprotected, they doing. Meanwhile, you got 6 babies and 7 baby daddies. Somebody else likes it raw as well. So you do know all those children you had, you could have contracted something that you would have to live with. You're not planning to get pregnant. You're just out there, you busting it down. You just have been dodging a bullet. Stop playing and let's keep it real.
And that's real. You all can talk about that. And I just sat back and I'm not ashamed of anything or any job that I had. Because in the reality of things, I would let me say this. While people were laughing, I had 4 women to hit me up and said, I'm so glad you told me that because I have a son, not gay, straight. He needed that. Another person, I got a
Mhm.
gay son. And they needed that. So again, if those 4 people are alive because of that, baby, I'm good with it. Because again, y'all are the last adopters, straight men, black, straight women, black. And
Hold
now,
on, Jay. You see what Johnny K said? You know who was not on prep? A lot of addicted streetwalkers.
come
True.
on, come on,
Mm.
come on, come on. And see, y'all don't understand that. People didn't even know about PEP, which if you come in contact with someone, you got 48 hours to get to a clinic. See, these are life-saving things that people are picking at, but at the end of the day, that shit could save your life.
Listen, Jay, I'm going to
Let me say,
say
I
this.
didn't know nothing about that until I started working at the pharmacy.
Listen, Jay, I'm going to say this. What the other thing people are not talking about when he said addicted streetwalkers.
Mhm.
Listen, there is a whole community of young women here in my town. These young ladies are addicted to cocaine. They're cocaine addicts. These young ladies were on Backpage. I have had incidents where I used to work in what they call the bottom here, where they would be out in the bushes having sex with unnamed
Hmm.
young men, raw dogging it, oral sex, anal, whatever. Then the other thing I'm going to talk about that nobody else talks about is there was a whole community of young women here at our school system that had to get caught up because they were telling people, I'm still a virgin. But guess what? They were having anal sex. They were allowing these guys
Mm.
to have anal sex with them un, unprotected. Guess
Or
what?
even, I'm
And
sorry.
this is not something that I'm making up. These young people got suspended from school because they were caught. Now, listen, I'm telling y'all, there is a lot of people out here that are having unprotected sex, and they're heterosexual. They're your children. They're your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, and uncles.
Let me jump
Listen,
on
And
that.
husband, even husbands.
husbands and wives.
Let me jump on
Right.
that. Why do you think HIV spread so high in Alabama during a certain month? Because them hoes be up there at the foot wash hunching in the woods.
Oh,
Hello, somebody. And that ain't
mm.
that, baby. That is pretty much heterosexual with an element of gay in there. But baby, do you not know that a man's wife came to the foot wash and took him out cold blood, and the woman, because they have hookers in tents? Y'all, foot wash is still going on. Nobody don't talk about it, but it's a big event. This is why I was floored when a content creator said that she went. And I'm like, girl, they hunching in the woods and
Where is
y'all
this
going to
at? So
that?
I know where to avoid it. What
Girl,
place is this and
I
what
mean,
time of
it's,
the year?
it's in Uniontown, Alabama. And it
Oh,
started
okay.
off as a real religious thing. But baby, as time went on, the hookers start coming and the folks start hunching. And the thing is, the police really can't do anything about it because it's on private property. So whoever owns it, they own all of this swath of land and they make this money for foot wash. But that's real.
But Jay, even the people I had friends that worked at the clinic, and what would happen is these guys that had double lives would come in there with their boyfriends and get tested and become like positive. Then they would come back with their wives as if they've never been there.
Mm.
Ladies, these men are shady. If get to know the person and don't feel because
But
a
people
man
don't
does
believe
one
it. And
thing in front of you.
they will
Mm,
always think that gay men are trying to come between straight women, and nobody ain't trying to come between nobody. All I'm saying is you all need to be careful because when people protest so much, then you need to really that's a red flag. When people have such
mm,
disdain and hate, you really that's protest. I'm reminded of that pastor in Colorado Springs. He was so damn against gay men, but come to find out he was on meth and Ted Haggard and was sucking dick down there with the
mm.
male prostitutes. I'm just
But
being real.
Jay, even the guy that girlfriend I told this story, key lime pie. Another story was when I was like 16 at my friend's sister house. Her boyfriend came. I was drunk on the couch, knocked out. She watched him playing with my nether region while I was asleep. He took off running out the house. The next day, she asked me to go home. She was like, I think it'd be best if you go. I didn't know what happened until my best friend, who was in the chat one day, and she could confirm this to everybody. She confirmed my story because her sister, the guy told her he wasn't gay anymore. His family was very religious. He wasn't gay. The gay had, I guess, went into hibernation at that point, but it awakened
Don't
in
we
the
have
spring when
somebody
I
like
was
that?
there.
Don't we have somebody like that in the beef sector? I'm gonna leave that alone.
Baby, he was playing and he apologized to me. And I was, I knew I was gay, but I wasn't acting. I wasn't letting people know. But child, he was going to the clubs here in Houston. He said he was straight. He ended up leaving her for a man and moving into the same apartment community.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, y'all, I'm watching, I'm seeing, and like I said, you all, with this Yusef situation, I just think it sparks greater uh uh I think it sparks greater conversation about sexuality, about what is a predator, what's not a predator. I think that we get this predatory behavior mixed up with orientation, and that's not a predator is going to be a predator whether you gay, straight, Asian, black. A predator is going to be a predator. That's the bottom line. And so that's it. A lot of people are trying to make this a sexual orientation thing, which it is not. It just happens to be somebody who is gay, unfortunately. But It's no different than if somebody black do something wrong. That don't mean all black people doing it. And I just want to get that across because I don't think people really think like that when stuff like that happens. So I'm just saying. I'm not making excuses. We are not victim shaming. I'm going off of the police report. And let me say this: if that man is still found innocent, he's still gonna have to deal with that for the rest of his life. He's still gonna have to deal with that for the rest of his life, innocent or not. So again, it is what it is. And I'm not victim shaming. We're just talking about the circumstances and what could happen in that situation. Also, too, I want to thank Room Shaker for coming up, for confirming what I said. Because see, some of y'all say, Jay, you lying on Brianna. You lying. Honey, Room Shaker came right up here and verified what I said. Because again, these people try to hem y'all up. And this is why I left. I'm like, Bree, I know you're not getting ready to try to do what Diva Tomboyish did to you. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you on Pizza's channel so she can get a point. I'm coming right on off here. I said what I said, I meant what I said. Goodbye. And even with the skip the game situation, ZT, if he tells his ass on the weekend, he's a grown man, and if he's with other grown men, that's his issue. If he has stuff, that's his issue. And I told you that people evolve from time to time, but you're dealing with people who saying that the community are nothing but a bunch of PDF files. And I just wanted to make sure that I got in front of that. It was not about you coming on first or what. I could care less about you coming on first, second, third. It really didn't matter. But the difference is everybody has a different responsibility of how they report stuff. And my angle of doing this was totally different from yours. I sat back. I said, why did this come to me? Who is this from? What do they want to happen? And it must have been something major because it was more than one person who got it. So this is why I don't think that people think they're so special that they the only one getting information. Everybody gets information. But my thing is how you disseminate that information is going to say a lot about what happens in the end. So being first was not the thing for me. Being thoughtful was the big issue. And knowing that you have ZXs out there, that was a big issue. So again, it wasn't about being first and seeing. No, I got that email at 8:08 p.m. And again, I'm not going to put the person out, but I have the email in my account. So yeah, I just want to say that. Any last words before, because y'all got to get ready to go and meet some friends. Any last words, Vivian and Rebel?
Before we go, I just like to say, don't forget we have the Busted Banner 2026 challenge, banner challenge coming up. Get your entries in by December 26th. We're trying to get the pot up to $2,000. Hey, Cash App Brother Jay. Also, we
And I
have
would like to thank that person who sent that $20. I appreciate you again. Go ahead, Bill.
we have the 2026 Jaycation coming up. Listen, come join Brother Jay and myself. Meet us in person. Rebel. I'm praying that you're there,
Yeah.
my brother, because you know what? I always enjoy Rebel company because Rebel is funnier than hell. He has a dry wit. I've always said that. Rebel has a dry wit. You have to be intelligent to catch on with some of the stuff Rebel's
Now,
saying
some
now.
stuff you don't have to be intelligent because he just shade his hell sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
But
listen, I'm sorry, don't finish
oh no,
Vivian.
no, but y'all don't understand. Listen, I'm praying that y'all come, and we got some other folks that's coming. That I'm not gonna put it out because it ain't my business to put out there. Listen,
Because we don't
but
die.
we don't dox. But listen, so I'm praying that y'all come on, and for those of you who think about have security questions and issues, we keep an armed guard on standby. I'm just saying. Am I right,
Okay.
Rebel?
That's right.
Rebel. Am I right?
Okay.
We keep a arm.
You're
We
right.
keep
Definitely.
a armed guard with arresting power on standby. So just don't come there act thinking you're gonna act a fool because you're going to jail. And
And as a
we
matter of fact,
all
I'm
gonna
going to
pull our
call him
cameras
because
out.
Vivian, he's actually now a full-fledged San Antonio police officer.
I love him.
Oh,
He's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
handsome.
Mm-hmm.
He has
So,
a
so I'm
beautiful
going to
cootie.
call him. I got to reach
Little
out.
handsome self. Little snack bite. Um, but
But email me at yespicturelady@gmail.com and I'll get those details to you after January 1st. You're going to know exactly the time, place, and everything.
Yes. All right, Rebel.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead,
This has been a
Vivian.
great conversation. Oh, you weren't finished, Vivian.
Yes, I was. I went on mute. And
Okay.
y'all,
Oh,
bless y'all all.
All right. Go
uh,
ahead, Rebel.
well, I think this has been a great conversation that you've led with, Jay. And I think that, people, things happen and we can't assume until we just know. We can guess about things, but we don't know all the inner workings of what happened. And just to be, again, this could have been any of our family members. I got family members that have been in prison because they deserve to go to prison for some of the things they've done. But I've I just wanted to come on and add my part to the conversation. Um, and I'll be at Jaycation. Y'all, I
Mm.
know, y'all look at me. I have a few, if I have a few drinks, you may get to fill me up a little, but that's gonna be it. No underclothes or anything.
Nobody ain't gonna be feeling Rebel up with that man. That man will beat your ass.
Oh, babe, okay. Throw them hands because he got some hood in them. And we both pack,
Mm-hmm.
and we in Texas. So let me just say that we both packed, not just between the legs either.
Okay now. Okay now. So y'all done heard from Rebel. And like I said, you all, we're not victim shaming over here. We're just trying to be really balanced with this situation. This man is innocent until proven guilty, even though the evidence ain't looking good. Even if he's proven innocent, this is going to take a toll out of him. I mean, because it's a major allegation. And we'll see. But the biggest thing is, that community, it's about behavior again and not about orientation. And I think some people are trying to make it about orientation. It's not about sticking together either. My thing is, I'm going to ride and live with you, but I'm not riding and dying with nobody. You understand me? So Rebel has a beautiful job. When Rebel got his house, I was excited about that. You didn't hear me talking about something, oh, you think you somebody now because you got that house. No, I was very happy for him because the man was living. And when you ride and live, I'm going to ride and live right with you. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. It's about making good choices. But when you riding and dying, I don't care. You can be gay, straight. I don't care. I'm not riding and dying with anybody. And Rebel, I think when you got your house, I was ecstatic for you being in your house. You didn't hear me talking about something, oh, he think he's somebody.
Oh
So,
no, you definitely. I got most support. It was just some people misery loves company, and
mhm.
there are people that are just gonna hate on you regardless. You could get another car, they gonna be like, "You thank you too much because he got that car. He just got a Lexus." And it's like, okay, it's just a car. I had a Honda Civic also. What? Okay, that's
um,
crazy.
Just Blaze said, one of ours, I thought Yusuf was beef sector adjacent doing celebrity news. I never seen him in beef sector streets. Never mind the gates, never the gate been down. Just Blaze, I feel the same way as you. We know him because he does make appearances in the beef sector. He was here for a moment and went. So I think he's adjacent as well. It's not one of our own. Let me say this. If ZX were caught up into this, we would have been talking about him as well. And he's truly not beef sector. He comes over here. So my thing is, it's not one of our own and everything. And I don't care if you beef sector, if you ride and die, I ain't riding with you. That's the bottom line. That's the
It ain't
bottom line.
nobody trying to take advantage of us. Yes, you got to put an O2 tank and Dr. Frankenstein to wake that thing up down there. So he say,
Mm. Well, it's a lot of things going on, but he's really angry. And I don't. Again, there are some things that have transpired with him, and Rebel, you get to the point where you just leave people the hell alone because it's not even worth. It's not even worth fighting with folk. It's not worth
yes.
anything. and you just move on with life. And I think that's where a lot of people are now. You just don't have time for foolishness. Let's just move on, because at the end of the day, we know your slant, we know your angle. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Long as I know, that's all that really matters. Rebel, you were a janitor, according to the girls. And I know Rebel ain't no janitor, but my thing is, you get to the point where, oh, if that's what you think, then you gonna run with it. If it's gonna make your life happy and it's gonna help you to function through the day, then do what you gotta do. Now,
And what if I was? Does that make me a? Does that make if I was a janitor or if I was housekeeper? Anything? What if I would have been there? I had family members that became supervisors, and they were janitors, became supervisors, were making more money than some of the nurses they worked
let
with.
me say this: if
I
you
don't
was a
care. I don't
janitor,
leave with my material.
hold on. If you was a janitor and you was making it like that, I need to come find you and say, janitor, how's you doing that? See, again, people don't think like that. But let me say this: I don't know what to believe, because now people saying that Ness, and I don't want to bring her up, but baby, now they saying Rebel, that she had rented out a Tesla, Jesus, and she done wrecked the Tesla because she was doing Uber. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but baby, the girls are saying a lot. Now, I think that came from Diva Tomboyish. And so baby, that news just came down, and I'm like, wait a minute. She had a Tesla. She wrecked that bad boy and is messing with her. They said she ain't no executive. They said she doing Uber in a Tesla, baby. And then that's why she got to get that Kia. I don't know if that's true or not. I saw that on Diva Tomboy's community wall. I don't know if that's true, but I'm like, well, damn. But see, again, don't tell people things that you're not. And my thing is, I'm with Rebel. I didn't have a problem doing Uber and Airbnb. I'm glad that I had the material and the resources to do it. But if I say I did this, this, and the third, I don't have to lie about it. I don't have to lie about that stuff. Rebel has met my partner. Don't have to lie about that. You see what I'm saying? People lie
Mhm.
about stuff. And then another thing is, you don't have to prove shit to nobody. And that's why I was appalled that Brianna would even answer those questions, because they were intrusive. They were downright derogatory. And baby, that lady used you, and you gave her information that was none of anybody's business.
Yeah, you
So
don't give people you
And
don't give
y'all,
people arsenal to use against you.
stop talking for people. Stop talking for people. Listen, we all have mouths big enough, platforms and things of that nature. We could talk for ourselves. Bruh
I didn't
Jay done
want.
already told you he ain't
I didn't
got
even
no
want
stage
Vivian on.
manager.
Yeah, I didn't even want Vivian on my platform last night, because I wasn't feeling a panel. It wasn't about a panel last night. Last night was like, I'm going to do this solo and I'm leaving out. It wasn't about because I was mad or anything. And then when I hear that on Pizarro's channel, I'm like, let me click up there, because this person doesn't have the right information. How you going to tell people how I was feeling? And I haven't talked to you in years. And so I had to go up there. I didn't think I was going to have to uh, communicate with Bri, but when I did, it was short, it was to the point, and I wasn't gonna sit up there and argue for somebody's profit. I left, because if I want to fight, I got a whole channel that I can do it on.
Jay, I'm gonna jump down. Thank you again for having me. Um, my platform is going in the direction. I have a new channel, and it's going to be documenting me and my partner riding our bikes, going to different cities, going cross country. Come and join us. We'll be, I just want to take people along. I don't want the energy. I don't want negative energy over there. So I kind of want it separate. If you want to see a bunch of mess, and we get our feel of it, but you can't eat candy all the time,
You can't, you
or you be
can't.
looking like uppity.
But I am getting
But
ready to be messy. Jay Wilson, did you know Brian used to sell his body services to older gay men? He admitted it on TMO live timestamp. Well, no, not the timestamp, Jesus. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Wait a minute. What was it? Was it recent? Hold on for a minute, Vivian. Hold down the fort,
Oh,
Vivian. Let me go
oh,
to timestamp 158. I'll be right back.
Hey, Rebel,
stuff.
darling, I am going to text you today because hold on. Okay, you
Oh,
see
I
that?
did hear what.
You
Let me
see that?
see. No, did you send it to my phone?
No, look backstage.
Oh, okay. I don't even on here. Okay, let me see. Okay, I got you.
All right.
Got
So
you.
y'all listen. Rebel, and if you and your man want a very beautiful place to ride to, I invite you down to South Carolina.
Oh, yes. I mean, Vivian, that's what I was trying to contact you about. Was because I lost all my numbers in this new phone. I didn't save them in the cloud.
Listen,
But
this area
I
would
want to
be a
come there.
perfect place. This would be a perfect place. We got lakes, we got grass, we got fishing, hunting,
And he's a
kayaking.
country boy. He's a country boy like myself. So we love doing all that stuff.
So it would be a great place for you guys to go. And it's a great big biking community. This
Oh
is
yeah,
nothing but
we're
a
definitely
biking community.
coming. Yeah,
You
we're
know,
coming. Vivian with the weather. Yeah. What you're gonna say?
we have a lot of bike clubs in this area. A lot of bike clubs. You know what I'm saying? And when I say a lot of bike clubs, I'm talking about lot of bike clubs. So yeah, I invite you guys down here.
Oh, I remember that story that Ryan did tell because he said he had went to San Antonio or somewhere and there was a Hispanic guy, like an overweight Hispanic guy. I think he did say that. I don't want to lie, but I think he did say he charged 200. Because I was on a panel actually when he said that, and I was like, was I on? It was on whose platform it was on. I forgot whose platform, but when he said it, I was laughing because I
You
asked him,
know
"Did
he
y'all go
wait a
all the
minute,
way?"
but Rebel, you know he tells so much at so many different times at so many different things. So you know it's hard to keep up with him. You know it's hard to keep up with him, baby. You know it's
I
hard.
remember he did say it. I remember that. But Vivid, I'm telling you, I'm getting my guy prepared. He's riding. He got his bike actually just this past Sunday because he wanted for him and I to be able to ride together. So he's been training. I've been taking him to like parking lots. His neighborhood is the picture on my bike right now. I have a Riker 900. He has a Spider F3, but that's his neighborhood we were riding in because it's more country like and it's quieter streets. He already ready to jump on the freeway. I'm like, Houston people drive crazy. Take your time. We'll get to
Tell him
that
to take
point.
his time. Tell him let's ride in the neighborhood a little bit. Then we'll
Yes,
go in the parkways, the real slow parkways, and
yes.
Oh,
areas.
Rebel, you ain't shit. You
Let's
ain't
ride down to the
shit, Rebel.
CVS.
Oh, Rebel, you ain't shit. You was on
What
that.
I do?
Lord, you was
I,
on
I
that.
just said that, Jay. I just said that. I
Oh
thought I
my
didn't
God,
remember
Rebel, you
who
ain't
panel we
shit.
were.
You ain't shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not a nurse at Ben Tom. No, my God. In Mount Houston. I ain't even know they had mountains in
Oh
Houston.
yeah. He said, wait. The street was West Mount. He said he went to okay, I had it, I didn't remember where or I thought it was San Antonio, but it was in Houston off of West Mount Houston.
Oh,
So when
Jesus.
he was saying it, I knew what he was talking about. And then I asked him, well, did y'all for $200? Like, what all did y'all go all?
$200?
Yeah.
Oh my God, now we got a hooker. You can't say nothing about Castro no more. Oh my God. Oh my God. Baby, you can't say nothing about Castro. Baby, we got people selling body parts for coin. My God, today. My God, today. Oh my God. Oh my God. Rebel, you ain't shit. You was on that. Oh my God.
Jay, I thought I was in the chat. I didn't remember I was on the actual platform because Brian had been to quite a few places. So I was like, was I in the chat or was I on the platform? So yeah, and I don't even who platform was it again?
It was demons. Oh, Oh my God,
Yeah,
baby, it's
it
a
was
hooker
demon soul.
spirit in these streets, baby. It's a hooker spirit. Oh my God. Baby, you selling ass. Baby, Rico, scoot over, honey. Baby, we got street walkers, honey. We got girls selling it online. We got online hookers. Oh my God. Y'all, I wouldn't have believed it unless I heard it from us. Oh my God, my God, my God. And Rebel ain't shit because he was sitting right on that damn panel. Baby, I would have felt out, honey. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was quite interesting to say the least.
Oh my God. I heard it. I heard it. Oh no. No, 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 no. Baby, he said it. He said it. Girl, he said it. He said it. Oh my God. And Rebel asked the question. And then Miss O asked the question. Oh, somebody asked the question. My God, today. Ooh, people selling cheeks. They selling, oh my God. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, Castro, did you hear this,
But
Castro?
Rebel, this is my question. Did it sound truthful or did it sound like he was just
It was
making a
truthful. You
It
story
go
just to
watch
sounded
the
see
clip
it
for
himself?
sounded
yourself.
truthful because he laughed about it when he was saying it. He kind of snickered to himself, and I remember more so
He
now
said
that
because the
when you
man
said
was a
West
little
Mount
bigger.
Houston.
He said because you
Yes.
gotta pay if you bigger. And so, and I mean, how you gonna be big and make him, oh Jesus. Oh, this is so many wrong things, baby. It's weight discrimination. Okay, how you gonna be a hooker with weight discrimination and you big? How you gonna be charging people and you big? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jay, maybe he
La
chalked it up to
Donna.
a fetish fee. It could have been a fetish fee.
Mm. Okay, y'all, I gotta go on this. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. You know, Divine, right? You ain't shit. Okay? You ain't shit, and Rebel ain't shit either. Rebel sat on that platform. Oh my God. See, this is why I'm telling y'all that I don't be following everything. See, y'all be thinking that I'll be in, baby, Brian, there go the hooker right there. There go the gay for pay right there. Ooh, Jesus. Oh my God. Discriminating
Well,
against fat people.
Bruh Jay and Rebel on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down because I'm about to go be messy and I'm gonna go and find my fake ass boyfriend because he told me he was gonna buy me some ties today.
Oh my
And
God.
all I had to do is have on my jumpsuit and swing it from right to left and don't even take it
Oh,
off. So
Mm,
I'm gonna go and shake my titties in
oh,
his face
Jesus.
and see if I can get
oh,
me all four
Vivian,
ties
what you
instead of
saying
two.
right now, Vivian, don't even have a, baby, it don't even pale to what I just found out. Girl, Vivian, what we just found out that Brian is
Wait a
certified
minute,
at all of these things,
wait a
but
minute,
now he a
Brian down there
certified
laughing.
hoe. He is a
Brian down there in the
certified
chat laughing.
hoe.
Hey, Brian.
But I'm gonna give you, Brian. I'm gonna give you this. At least it was $200, because some of these hoes would have did this for 50. At least you got two hundred
or
dollars out of
less.
this. Didn't Castro
Hell,
But
supposed to
it's
get two
wait a
hundred?
ain't
minute.
no
Wait a
fun
minute.
when the rabbit
It's
gets the
some of
Didn't
bus
these
one.
folks
Castro?
out here doing it for free,
Hold
honey.
on. You and Castro got this. Do y'all use the same scale? Because didn't he need $200
Uh-uh.
too?
Mm-mm.
Not the sliding scale,
Baby,
Jay.
it was a slide scale, honey. She's a certified hooker. $200, baby. Okay. Baby, work ain't honest, but it pays the bills, baby. I knew you could have gotten to Seattle. Brian said I could have gotten to Seattle other ways. Okay. Oh my God. He works hard for the money.
For the
Oh my
money.
God. Oh,
But
now, Brian. Now, let me say
Look,
this.
y'all,
Now, let me say
listen.
this. Now, Brian. Now, people gonna be questioning you when you be walking in them parks and stuff. Girl, not $200.
uh-uh.
Girl, on Mount Houston. Girl, I ain't even know that. Okay, so Mount Houston is a street. Girl,
It's West Mount Houston. Yeah.
girl, because I thought you said they had a mountain in Houston. Girl, I'm like, is that
No.
the highest hill? Bitch, I was like, is that the highest hill? Oh my God, we got a hoe in Brian. Ooh, I ain't
Baby,
never seen.
Grandma used to
I ain't,
say, Jay, ain't no fun when the rabbit gets the bus one.
okay, but I ain't never seen no Jehovah Witness hooker. Ooh, this is
Uh-uh.
new. This is new. I ain't never seen no kingdom ho ho. Oh my God, not a kingdom ho ho.
Y'all,
Oh
on that
my
note, let
God.
me, y'all listen, on that note, let me go. Y'all have a
Okay.
great day. I
Well,
gotta go
look.
finish my mama's memorial plaque.
Okay.
And I gotta go and shake my titties in his dude face because I'm gonna give me a set of tires. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
Vivian. Not
Praise
a kingdom
Jesus.
ho
Amen.
ho. Well, look,
Y'all
Rebel, I
have a
gotta
good
go,
day.
but I'm
Right,
coming back on
Vivian.
because I gotta go to my little brunch, but I gotta hurry up and get ready. So I'm gonna go here and get ready. But baby, I'm talking about this. Oh, I'm talking about this. Oh, I am talking about this.
Fine.
Okay, I am
Thank you,
talking
Jay.
about
I'm out of
this.
here. Thank you for having me, Jay.
Okay, okay,
Just
y'all.
let
I'll
me
be
let
back
me down
on.
because I can't see it on here. Okay.
Okay, okay, then I'm gonna let you down. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, a kingdom ho ho, and I miss. Ooh, I'm gonna talk about this. Okay, y'all. I'll be back on in a couple of minutes.